Okay. Part 4. Part 4. Parkour. No, but not parkour. Just part 4. We're going to grab the other sets of metal frames. Those we don't need yet, but we will need later. And we are not using that piece right now. We are using this piece right now. Over there. Okay, so holding it this way. So shiny and new. It's like never really dealt with that before. So from step 1, I grab the piece from step 1, and I line it up. And there's nothing special on step 1, right? It's standard. So I line it up so it's this way. So if we'll call this the front, because I know eventually this will be the front of the robot. So the front of the robot, we're now putting the right side in. Okay. I need to put that down now to do that. Okay. So we are going to need 2 little black screws. Okay, and I don't need those. Oh, these are all FTC, for real, for real. Oh, that is, those are the most important parts of the FTC robot. Okay, and I'm going to put all of these nuts in here. And I don't know if this is a nut or the bolt. If that's the bolt, that's the nut. I feel like this is the bolt. That's bolt. Either way, you can comment. Like, let's get people talking, man. I have like few people who actually comment on my stuff, other than asking me to do something. So if you want to correct me, that'd be great. We can start a conversation. Anyway. I'm going to use gravity to my advantage and turn it this way, so that way I can put the screw down. The screw is actually going through the top here. So looking at it from this perspective, it's going through the bottom hole here, and then fitting. It's just one long thing here. There's no hole real. I mean, it's a long hole, I guess you call it. A rectangular thing. Grab the nuts. And see, that's why I use gravity to my advantage. So I could do that, and it's still not perfect. If I hold it this way, it will be. And now I'm going to use the class Allen wrench, because this I want to be quasi-tight. Now I'm not gonna Superman it. But I am going to use the second wrench, so that way I can get it right. I like it to be straight because it makes my life easier. Okay, and holding the nut with my thumb, and again, no Hercules, just tight enough. Right there it is, nice and tight. It's good enough. Now I think we're going through the top. So once again, holding it this way, the right side, I went through the bottom here. And so now, yes, we're going, so if you look, there's 1, 2 holes on the, 1, 2, we went to the bottom, right? And now here, we're going to go, so basically the corner squares don't get any screws. Right? Try to keep it simple. And using gravity, whoop. Grab the nut. We hold that with our finger, flip it upside down, and using gravity, we put the nut on so we can just spin it. And it might be a little kooky because there's a bracket in the way, but once it's on there, you can just kind of use your thumb righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Now I knocked it off, kids. It's okay. This is building. Plus, it's going to be easier for you because you have smaller fingers. All right, but once you get it on there, it'll go in there pretty easy. And then you grab the Allen wrench and holding the nut with your finger in the back so it doesn't spin. Because if I don't hold it and I turn it, the whole thing spins. Okay, so you got to hold the nut in spot. Not super tight. There you go. No Hercules. I repeat it 5,000 times, man. When you're teaching kids, man, it's repeat, 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 repeat again. Repeat, repeat, repeat. They don't listen, man. They don't listen. They don't listen. So if you're a parent and you say, my child doesn't listen, guess what? That's true. All the time. There we go. Nice and tight. I mean, gravity working with me. So you're going to grab 2 more little screws. Okay. Once again, the corners don't get any screws, but I'm using gravity to put that one in. I'll put the screw off to the side. Grab 2 nuts and put one over right him. And grab 3. Look at that. Don't need you. Okay, put my thumb on it. Oh, it's going to move because the rectangular piece is there, but that's okay. That's okay. It's on there. I got my nut on there, and boom. Using gravity, nice and easy. And I flip it around, and I hold the nut with my finger. Grab the Allen wrench, and turn. No Hercules, nice and easy. You don't want to strip these things, man. I can't emphasize that enough because we have to use them again and again. And so we don't want to mess them up. Oh, I already took the screw out. Excellent. So that goes in the bottom. And I see it's a little off, so the screw won't fit because it's not perfectly lined up. So once I get it perfectly lined up, there it goes. The box was not lined up on the opposite side, so you couldn't fit the screw. You gotta look. Once again, using gravity. Use gravity to your advantage. Don't fight against the forces of nature. And I remind myself too, man, because you know what? When you're an engineer and you're doing things, sometimes you get careless, especially when you're my age, because it's like, oh, I've done this 100 times. I know what I'm doing. Okay, don't be Hercules. There you go. And there you go. The 2 parts from step 1 are now on. Okay. On, right? So looking at it, looks good. Okay. Oh, good, from step 7. I was looking at reading because I was like, from step 7, you mean that? Okay, yeah, there it is. And then this is from step 1. So I have the 2 pieces from step 1. They're both from step 1. So don't get confused by it saying from step 7. It's showing you the direction. But I already told you, right side of the robot, left side of the robot. Okay? Once that is on, then you are taking the motor from step 2. Okay? And that is the one where the wire is facing going left, right? So if I lay it out first, right? Okay, just skipping ahead, okay? Because I'm laying it out, okay? Look at it. Look at it to make sure that it is correct. So I'm kind of skipping ahead to step 10. And the reason why I'm doing this is because if your motors are on incorrectly, then your wheels are going to spin in the wrong direction, and then you're going to have to take it all apart later when you're trying to wire it. So this is me trying to show you that this needs to be done ahead of time. So if I'm looking at it properly, which I am looking at it properly in step 10, because you have the instructions, right? So skip to step 10 real quick right now and look at it, okay? This wire needs to be facing down. So if you're looking how it goes, these are how the parts go, like this. Okay, the wires going towards the front of the robot, okay, and the brackets are facing that way, right, on the inside, like that. Not like this, because I have kids that do this. if you do this, your axles won't reach and you won't have enough space. And this happens. And I have kids come. And not to mention, these motors are now facing in the wrong direction, even though they look like they're going in the right direction. And your wheels are supposed to go over here. Your wheels are going to go. It's a mess, guys. Don't do that. Okay? So make sure you got it facing the right way. I've had kids put them on wrong. It happens all the time. Okay? So now you're going to count from the top screw here, because we're in step 9. Okay? I only skipped to 10 for a moment. So now we're looking over there. We're skipping one square from the screw, and then the next screw is going to the top. All right? And since our motor is going to be here like this, we line it up. Okay? And make sure that we're leaving one space in the middle. Okay? That looks good to me. And I'll grab a screw. Why not? Slide this in. Hold it with my finger. Flip it around. And the wire might be a little annoying, but it's okay. Make sure that your motor frame is touching, that the lines are, that it's all lined up before you put your nut on, because you want to make sure that you don't tighten it where it's not lined up. Okay. So there it is. I'm trying to get the thing on. There we go. Come on, guy. There he is. And it goes on pretty easy once you got them lined up. And you're going to hold it with your finger and tighten it up. No Hercules. Just nice and easy. Okay. And now you can see, okay, it's going to be a little kooky, but you'll see if that, your bottom screw here has to line up where you can get the screw through. So the metal frame needs to kind of go like this. Okay, so you can fit it through. If it doesn't fit, then you know you don't have it lined up. But once it gets in there, then the whole thing lines up. Okay, nice and straight line on that. And this one, because there's no bracket in the way of this one, is really easy to get on there. There it is. And once you start tightening it, if it's not straight, it'll straighten out because that's how physics works. And then hold the nut. And no Hercules, just tight enough that you can just not turn it anymore. And there it is. Step 9, done and done.